My husband said he was going on a 15-day business trip and asked me not to call him. He was caught at T, a fancy restaurant with his young mistress. I canceled his black card, sold the mansion and saw 66 missed calls. It was twilight, and I was out on the patio, fussing over my delicate Phalaenopsis orchids. Then he appeared, my husband Ethan, dragging a suitcase towards the door. Still in his expensive suit, but his tie was loose, the scent of his cologne and a long day overpowering the orchids I'd poured my heart into. After 10 years that smell was just Ethan. Like our marriage, he barely noticed me. "I'm leaving," he stated, his voice flat. "Big business trip. Hamptons. Geological survey. Top secret, so no calls or texts for 15 days. I'll call you when it's done." It was a notification, not a conversation. I walked over, pretending to adjust his collar. "So sudden? 15 days is a long time." He pulled back, a barely perceptible flinch. "Security reasons," he insisted, his hand cold when it briefly touched mine. "The house, the garden. It's all in your hands." I gave him the smile I'd perfected over a decade. The wise, understanding wife smile. "Go," I told him. "I'll be fine." The clang of the iron gate closing echoed through the suddenly chilling silence of our luxurious brownstone. 10 years ago, Eva Reed, had my own ambitious landscape design brand. But Ethan wanted someone to hold down the fort. So I gave it all up. This brownstone, this garden became my entire world. I nurtured every corner, every flower, believing I was nurturing our home. But Ethan grew colder, more distant. Dinners disappeared. Affection dried up. He was always working. I blamed myself. Did I do something wrong? Do all marriages just wither like this? I tried to fix it, but I only met indifference, sometimes irritation. Eventually, even I grew tired. Only silence remained. And this 15-day no-contact business trip? It wasn't unsettling. It was just a cold confirmation of the chasm between us. 3 days into his trip, the house felt enormous and hollow. I buried myself in my orchids, the vibrant Phalaenopsis, dancing ladies, and purple dendrobiums blooming beautifully. As I wiped a leaf, my phone chimed. Then again. And again. Bank alerts. My heart seized. 3 identical notifications from his black card. The one linked to my account for work convenience. My eyes snagged on it. For $1,000 charge at Arya Restaurant. Arya. The name was a needle in my brain. For $1,000. Just 10 minutes ago. My hands trembled as I called the bank. The agent confirmed. "Yes, Mrs. Reed. For $1,000 paid at Arya Restaurant on the Upper East Side, Manhattan." Manhattan. Not the Hamptons. I hung up, my body going utterly cold. The sweet scent of the orchids suddenly felt suffocating. Arya. I knew Arya. 6 months earlier, for our 10th anniversary, I'd shown Ethan an article about it. "Honey," I'd begged. "Let's go there just once. It's so romantic." He hadn't even looked up from his computer. "Don't be ridiculous. A single meal costs an employee's salary. It's for show-offs." He dismissed my dream, calling me extravagant and frivolous. Our anniversary ended with a quiet dinner at home. He's practical, I told myself. He cares about big business, not trivialities. But now, the man supposedly surveying land in the Hamptons, the man who demanded no contact, was dropping $4,000 at Arya. What kind of client required that extravagance? My hands shook, not with anger but with a bone-deep chill. Had my past 10 years been spent in absolute trust, or a meticulously crafted lie? The immaculate white orchid in front of me suddenly felt fragile and hypocritical. He lied. That was the only clear thought, shattering inside me like broken glass. After the initial shock came a chilling calm, like an injury so severe, the pain hasn't quite registered yet. I didn't scream. I didn't break anything. I just walked inside and poured myself a glass of ice water. The cold liquid cleared my head. What now? Call him? Scream? And hear another elaborate lie? I'd already wasted a decade. I couldn't afford another second of foolishness. I needed the truth. My eyes scanned my contact list. Not my mom, her heart couldn't handle the worry. I needed someone sharp, someone who could act. Chloe, my best friend since college. A fierce, independent lawyer who detested hypocrisy. If anyone could help, it was Chloe. "What's up, lady of the brownstone?" she chirped when she answered. "Another flower project?" "Chloe," I choked, "are you free? I need your help." Her voice instantly sharpened. She knew my serious tone. "Ava, what did Ethan do?" "He said he went to the Hamptons for 15 days. Secret project. No contact." "Secret?" Chloe scoffed. "Smells fishy. A secret from his own wife." 15 minutes ago, I cut in. "His black card was used for $4,000 at Arya, Upper East Side." A beat of silence. "Arya?" she asked, her voice low. "The French restaurant he said was too extravagant for your anniversary?" "That's the one." My throat burned. "That bastard!" she exploded. $4,000 is definitely a problem. What do you want? Should I send someone over?" "No," I said firmly. "No scandal. Not yet. I need the truth. Investigate who he's with. Arya's high-end. They'll have cameras or reservations." "Understood," Chloe replied. "All business. Send me the card info, account number, and a clear photo of Ethan. I have contacts. But Ava, are you really okay?" I looked at my orchids. Beautiful. But hollow. "I don't know," I whispered. "But don't worry, I won't fall apart." I hung up, knowing my life would never be the same. I sat motionless on the patio as the sun bled into an orange trail, heralding a long dark night. The orchid scent now felt nauseating. I couldn't eat. The grandfather clock in the living room ticked, each beat a hammer in my empty chest. Asterisk, maybe it was an important partner? A female CEO? Maybe $4,000 was a deposit? Asterisk, I clung to faint hope. Then around 10 p.m. my phone buzzed. "Chloe." Not a text but a warning. "Take a deep breath, sit down, then open this." My hands trembled. "I won't fall apart," I'd promised, but my body betrayed me. Cold. Numb. I clicked the video file. 30 seconds. Probably recorded discreetly by another diner, or a security camera. It was Ethan. Relaxed, jacket off, in Arya's opulent dining room. And he wasn't alone. Across from him, a very young woman. Long light brown hair, fair skin, a wine-colored silk slip dress. Charlotte, the intern from Ethan's company. I'd met her once 3 months ago when I brought him lunch. He'd introduced her casually. "This is Charlotte, she's in my department," she'd bowed politely, saying, "With such delicious food, it's no wonder Mr. Cole praises you so much." In the video, Ethan was carefully, lovingly placing a piece of lobster on her plate with a silver fork. His eyes, filled with a deep passion I hadn't seen in me for 5 years, devoured her. Charlotte laughed, leaned over, and playfully wiped some sauce from his mouth. A blatant intimacy. He didn't pull away. He took her hand, brought it to his lips, and kissed it. 30 seconds. The video ended. My phone clacked dryly on the cold granite floor. Betrayed. Not a business partner. Not a fling. A deep secret relationship. He was using my money, the card I gave him, to wine and dine a girl half my age. Pain constricted my chest, but no tears came. They had dried up. Nausea rose. I'd given up my brilliant career for this liar. I tended my garden, only to find a venomous snake within it. The video replayed in my head. A slow-motion horror I couldn't turn off. Ethan's smile. The kiss. Each frame a blade. I slid down the cold wall. This brownstone. This garden. My heaven. My sacrifice. It was a gilded cage, and I, a foolish bird, had locked myself in, while the owner sought younger birds. My phone rang. "Chloe." I took a deep breath, fighting the tremor. "I got it. Did you see it?" Her voice was urgent, blazing with rage. I couldn't answer. My throat was tight. "That bastard. Ethan. That damn bastard." Chloe swore. She never could stay calm when I was hurt. "That's Charlotte, the intern. I recognize her. What are you going to do now? Go over there and smash everything?" "Chloe," I interrupted, my voice devoid of emotion, tearless. She paused, surprised by my unnerving calm. "Are you at the office now?" "Yes, I'm here." "What is it?" "You're my lawyer, right?" "Of course. I'm your friend." I took a deep breath. The coldness was spreading from my heart. "I don't need you to be my friend. I need you to be my lawyer. You need to be colder than me." Silence. Then I knew she understood. The furious friend vanished, replaced by the sharp, professional lawyer. Speak. I'm listening. First, I said, walking to the desk where our documents, bank books, and deeds were kept. Prepare to immediately freeze all our joint marital accounts. Freeze? Chloe asked, surprised. He'll know instantly. He'll call. He'll find out, I said, my voice firm. But it will be too late for him to do anything. The brownstone was in both our names. My parents' down payment, now marital property. He can't touch the assets. My beloved husband Ethan had died in that 30-second video. All that remained was a stranger. Understood, Chloe replied. But for joint accounts we need a valid reason. You'd need to file for divorce to get a court order for an emergency freeze. No, I said. Not yet. If I divorce now, I'm giving them freedom. I need another reason. I don't want court yet. I looked around the lavish room. Chloe, if I report to the bank as the primary cardholder that I suspect my husband is committing fraud or using marital property for illegal purposes, would that be enough for a temporary freeze? Silence again. Legally, yes, she said slowly. The bank has a right to suspend to protect assets, especially for VIP clients. But it will cause a scandal. I need a scandal, I said. I want him to realize I'm not the idiot he's been manipulating for 10 years. I hung up, allowing no regret, no fear. If pain doesn't kill you, it turns you into steel. My heart felt harder than stone. 10 years I'd been a submissive wife. 10 years I'd stepped back. This was the price. I immediately called Mr. Davies, the director of my VIP bank. It was almost 11 p.m., but he answered on the third ring. Mrs. Reed, good evening. An emergency. Mr. Davies, I said, my voice surprisingly calm. I need 2 things handled immediately. First, cancel the secondary credit card. I read Ethan's black card number, memorized from a decade of paying his statements. Cancel, he stammered. Ma'am, this is a VIP card. Mr. Cole is on a business trip. I know. I cut him off. I am the primary holder. I have the right. Cancel it now. Yes, yes. Immediately. What's the second matter? His voice was tense. The second matter, I breathed deeply. I am Ava Reed, co-owner of the joint accounts. I gave him the numbers for our 3 joint accounts: checking, stock, and savings. $50,000. I request an emergency measure. Temporarily freeze all transactions from these accounts. This time Mr. Davies was silent longer. I heard him suck in his breath. Mrs. Reed, the reason? This is complicated. Mr. Cole is a co-owner. The reason, I emphasized each word, is that I, the primary owner of the majority of the assets, have sufficient grounds to suspect that my husband, Mr. Ethan Cole, is using joint assets for illegal purposes, committing fraud, and is currently showing signs of liquidating assets. Asterisk fraud. Illegal. Liquidating assets. Asterisk Chloe's words. The director panicked. Ma'am, calm down. This is serious. If you say so, per client protection regulations, I'll notify the system to block all transactions. Please come to the nearest branch tomorrow at 8 a.m. to sign paperwork. Good, I said. I'll be there. Not a single dollar to be withdrawn from this moment. Understood. Processing immediately. I hung up. The room was silent. My hand, still gripping the phone, wasn't trembling. For 10 years these hands had cooked, cleaned, gardened, massaged. Now, with these same hands, I was freezing everything that was his. I'd cut off his financial channel. I'd cut off his retreat. That $4,000 appetizer at Arya was truly expensive. Now it was time for the main course. I didn't sleep. I sat on the patio, staring at the dark orchid garden. The 30-second video played on an endless loop. Ethan's kiss, Charlotte's laugh, the $4,000 bill. A cruel pantomime mocking a decade of my youth buried in this brownstone. At 7:05 a.m. I was at Chloe's office. My eyes were swollen, my face pale. I looked like death. Chloe, sharp in her black suit, hair pulled back, pushed a hot coffee into my hands. Drink it. You look like death warmed over. I can't. Did you finish everything? She sat, crossing her arms. I finished. Sent your confirmation to the bank director. Everything's frozen. His black card? Officially a useless piece of plastic. A momentary relief washed over me, but it didn't fill the void. Thank you. Chloe studied me. Ava calmly. As your lawyer, what do you want? Just a warning? Or do you want a divorce? Divorce. The word felt strange, painful. 10 years I'd given everything. Read landscapes. My ambition. And now divorce? I really don't know. Chloe sighed, pacing. Look at me. If you just want a warning, he'll come back. He'll beg. He'll swear. And then he'll go back to his old ways, only more secretive. You'll live in doubt. I saw the kiss again. No, I said, my voice suddenly clear. I can't take it anymore. Then it's divorce, Chloe stated, not a question. Be ready to fight. Ethan and his family won't let you go easily. I want a divorce, I confirmed. But before that, I want to know exactly what I had for the last 10 years, and what he secretly took from me. Chloe smiled, cold and calculating. Good. This is the Ava Reed I know. She pulled out a folder. Preliminary investigation. The brownstone. Both your names. Your parents paid most of it. Frozen the joint accounts. She paused. Problem is, he surely has personal accounts. What's his exact salary? I hesitated. He said the company deferred his salary and bonuses. Only gave me $2,500 for household expenses. Chloe scoffed, a laugh of pure contempt. $2,500? You believe that? He's a senior director on billion-dollar projects. He's been playing you for 10 years. I bowed my head. That house, that garden. My passion for 10 years. But now? A luxurious cage full of lies. Sell it, I said, my voice dry. Put it on the market. Fast. Before he reacts. Chloe's surprise turned to approval. Good. Very decisive. I'll call a trusted real estate agent. Now go home, eat, get some sleep. A storm is brewing. The storm arrived that night. I sat by the koi pond watching the fish, wondering if they knew betrayal. My phone vibrated. My husband. The name saved 10 years ago was now a mockery. I watched it ring, go to voicemail, ring again, furious. One call, two, then 66. 66 missed calls. Not because he missed me, because he couldn't spend money. He'd probably tried to take Charlotte shopping after their $4,000 meal, or pay for a 5-star hotel. Failed. A new notification. Voicemail. My heart leaped. I listened. Ethan screaming. Pure rage. No regret, no concern. He wasn't angry I discovered his infidelity. He was angry I cut off his money. Angry that I, the housewife he looked down on, dared to humiliate him. Instead of calling back, I changed my profile picture on the messaging app. The smiling anniversary photo of us? Deleted. Replaced with a photo of me alone, smiling beside a full-bloom dendrobium orchid. Then I called him. He answered instantly as if waiting. Ava, you. He tried to scream again, but I cut him off. Yes. My voice was clear, calm, cold. My composure seemed to shock him. How did your top-secret geological survey in the Hamptons end up on the Upper East Side in Manhattan? Silence. A chilling silence. I heard his heavy breathing, trying to construct a lie. You? What nonsense are you talking about? Who told you that? His voice dropped, probing, panic evident. Ah, I prolonged sarcastically. Perhaps your partner said so. The brown-haired partner in a red dress sitting at Arya. Isn't it a bit extravagant to entertain with a $4,000 meal? You were spying on me? His voice turned threatening. I don't care, I said, frosty. Your job is to entertain. Oh, and one more thing. What thing? He asked cautiously. The brownstone on the Upper East Side, I said, a strange satisfaction spreading through me. I've put it up for sale. The agent called this morning, good offer. We'll sign the papers this weekend. What? This time a genuine shriek of panic and rage. Are you crazy, Ava Reed? How dare you? That's my house. Our house. You have no right until I get back to the States. You had no right to spend our money on your mistress. I raised my voice, dropping the composure. I froze the accounts, canceled the black card, and the house will be sold. I hope your survey was pleasant. Now figure out how you'll get back to the States. I hung up. I knew he'd call his greatest ally. His mother, Eleanor. An hour later, Eleanor called. Her number, once saved with respect, now filled me with fatigue. "Hello, Eleanor." Immediately, without greeting, came the wretched sobbing of a soap opera star. "Oh my God, Ava. How could you do this to your husband? Will you only be satisfied when that boy dies on the street?" I stayed silent. This act, I'd seen it for 10 years. Tears were her weapon. When I didn't react, the crying cut off like a switch. "Are you going to play dumb? Ethan just called me crying. He said you froze his card, his accounts. What are you doing? He's suffering for this house, for you. How can you be so unreasonable?" "Unreasonable?" I laughed cold. "Eleanor, am I unreasonable? Or is your son? He told me he was in the Hamptons, but used $4,000 of our money to dine at a luxury restaurant with another woman. In your eyes, that's him suffering for me." A chilling silence. Ethan would never have told her those details. But Eleanor was a pro. After a flicker of surprise, she was back on script, crying more miserable this time. "Oh, sweetie, I know you're hurt. But men, they fall into temptation. A temporary mistake. A scandal embarrasses the family. Handle it privately. Patience is a woman's virtue. If you sell the house, where will the children grow up later? Mistake." I wanted to cry but laughed instead. "Eleanor, where is a $4,000 mistake? I sacrificed my career to serve at home, and he's using our money for a woman half my age. You! What are you saying?" she snapped, dropping the tears. "How dare you speak to your mother-in-law like that?" "I'm not being disrespectful." I cut her off, my voice colder than ice. "I'm just telling the truth. I can no longer be the cash cow this family makes fun of. If you don't reactivate the accounts, don't blame me for becoming a monster. I'll go to your house right now." I hung up. I slumped to the floor. Infidelity. Everyone knew. They defended it. Took my sacrifice for granted. His betrayal? A small mistake. This whole family was rotten to the core. No doubt remained. The next morning, swollen eyes, dry throat. Eleanor's call had been poison. It killed my last affection, my last illusion. I was in my orchid garden when my phone chimed. Unknown number. Charlotte. I didn't want to open it, but a premonition urged me. I clicked. A photo. Luxury yacht, blue sea. Charlotte in a red bikini, radiating triumphant youth. And reflected in her designer sunglasses, Ethan. Shirtless, wine glass in hand, taking her picture. My husband, who screamed about humiliation and no money. Whose mother cried about him suffering far away. They had cash. They'd planned this. Celebrating their triumph with our money. My hands trembled. I was her age once. The proud head of Reed Landscapes. I chose to be a wife. A stay-at-home mom. I was just a foolish guardian of the safe, so he could hand my money to another woman. Then another message. "Mrs. Reed, Mr. Cole said you are a wise person. He said you are older. You should know when to let go if you want to keep your last bit of dignity. Asterisk older. Dignity. Asterisk she wanted to provoke me. Force a scandal. So she could play the innocent victim." I stared at the photo. No rage. No jealousy. Just disgust, like seeing a triumphant fly on cold food. I didn't answer. I didn't curse. I saved the photo and message. Evidence. Deleted the conversation. Blocked her number. This childish provocation wasn't worth my attention. My fight was legal. A battle for assets. Not for dignity from her. I needed back what was mine. This brownstone. My parents' wedding gift. My 10 years of passion. It wouldn't fall into their hands. I called Mark, the real estate agent. "Mr. Mark," I said, calm and clear. "I've decided to sell urgently. Speed it up, even if we lower the price a bit." He sounded surprised but professional. "Mrs. Reed, your house is a rare gem. Your garden captivated everyone." I smiled sadly. Captivated. I love this house the most. Tell them if they buy it, they must keep the garden. "Rest assured," he replied. "I'll find a worthy owner." I expected weeks, months. I was wrong. 2 days later, Mark called, euphoric. "Mrs. Reed, good news. Heavyweight client. Americans returning home." Speechless at the photos. "Good energy. Your garden is beautiful." He was practically shouting. "They don't even want to see it in person. They trust your design." Want to put down earnest money immediately. Didn't haggle. Only one request. What request? I asked, anxious. I went into Ethan's study, his private space I rarely entered. The smell of tobacco and old paper stung. I flipped on the light. Everything was artificially tidy. The hardwood desk drawer was locked, of course. But I was his wife for 10 years. I knew where he hid the spare key. Under the money plant. The arrogance of a man who thought his housewife would never look. I opened the drawer. Neatly arranged folders. Contracts. Insurance. Bank statements from accounts I didn't even know existed. He told me $2,500 a month was all our family expenses. It was just the tip of the iceberg. I sat on the floor, spreading everything out, my eyes fixed on the numbers. My already cold heart felt squeezed. 6-figure expense reports. Weekly cash withdrawals. Entertainment expenses. And here his official salary account. 5 times what he told me. 5 times. I laughed, a bitter, broken sound. I lived in a gigantic deception. I wasn't his wife. I was a housekeeper, paid $2,500 a month to tend his brownstone and garden, while he built another life with our money. The money I saved by giving up Reed Landscapes. The $4,000 meal at Aria wasn't a mistake. It was a habit. One of countless performances I knew nothing about. I was so foolish to fall for hold down the fort. For you stay home, I'll take care of everything. He was taking care of everything in his world. A world without me. I sat among the documents until the first sunlight. My coffee was cold. Disgusted, but I couldn't stop. I had to know everything. My eyes landed on a specific transfer. Recurring $2,500. Regular as clockwork. My dry eyes pricked at the letters. Internal transfer beneficiary, Mrs. Rosa Gomez. Amount, $2,500. Exactly the same amount he gave me. He was transferring the same amount to another woman. My intuition screamed this wasn't simple. Trembling, I checked the transaction history. June 15th, May 15th, April 15th. I scrolled back. My heart pounded. Not recent. Ongoing. 2 years. Oh my God. 2 years without fail. $2,500 on the 15th of every month. I did the math. $2,500 x 24 months equals $60,000. Who was Mrs. Rosa Gomez? The name meant nothing. Not my relative. Not Ethan's. A friend? No one sends a friend $2,500 a month for 2 years. A chill ran down my spine. This wasn't a mistake. Not infidelity. This was a plan. A long-term systematic plan. He wasn't just having an affair. He was supporting another woman. Investing our money, the money I saved by giving up Reed Landscapes, into another woman. This betrayal was colder than the video. The kiss at Aria could be lust. But $60,000 over 2 years was calculation. Intentional deception. Complete disregard for me. Who did he think I was? An idiot? An ATM? I didn't cry. I couldn't. Only rage. A cold rage surging from my depths. Enough rage to burn these 10 years of false marriage to ash. I didn't call Ethan. No insults. I just screenshotted all the transactions to Mrs. Rosa Gomez. Every single one, from the first month to the final total of $60,000. Sent it all to Chloe with a single line. Chloe, investigate Mrs. Rosa Gomez. What was he supporting with our $60,000 for 2 years? It was 6 a.m. Chloe was an early riser. I needed a shower. My body reeked of hatred and cold sweat. The hot water poured over me, but I felt cold to the bone. $60,000. The number echoed in my head. He took from me. From us. For 10 years I was frugal. No designer bags. No luxury trips. We have to save for the future, he'd said. His future. With another woman. As I stepped out of the shower, my phone rang. Chloe. Her voice wasn't a lawyer's. It was a furious friend's. Are you sitting or standing now? She trembled. Standing. Results. I asked calmly, heart hammering. Sit down, she screamed. I slumped to the bed. Mrs. Rosa Gomez. Chloe took a deep breath, like holding back a torrent of profanity. 60 years old. Outskirts of New York. No stable employment. 60 years old. more confused than ever. Ethan would never. Who is she? My voice cracked. Chloe was silent, then said each word clearly. Ava. She's Charlotte's mother. The phone slipped from my hand, landing silently on the carpet. But something exploded in my ears. Charlotte's mother. The mother of the intern. The mother of the woman in the video. $60,000. $2,500 a month. To the mistress's mother. I couldn't feel emotions anymore. Not pain. Just disgust. Nauseating disgust. He wasn't just having an affair. He hadn't just made a mistake. He was playing the role of a devoted son to his mistress's mother. With my money. Our money. I picked up the phone. Chloe was still screaming. Do you understand? That bastard was supporting not just his mistress, but her whole family. $2,500 a month. That woman was living like a queen. With your money. The money you sacrificed from Reed Landscapes. Ava, are you listening? I'm listening. My voice was strangely calm. And I understand everything. What do you understand? Chloe stopped, surprised. I understand, I said, standing and walking to the closet. He hasn't been my husband for a long time. He's been a thief and a con man. When the truth finally comes out, no matter how cruel, there's no more pain. Only rage. A single goal. Chloe, I cut her off. Prepare the divorce papers. But I don't just want a divorce. I don't just want half the assets. I want everything. I'll make him pay for these 10 years of youth. Principal plus interest. I arrived at Chloe's office at 9 a.m. Not the soulless, swollen-eyed woman from days ago. I wore the white suit I'd worn to defend my first Reed Landscapes project. Hair pulled back. Makeup carefully applied. I was here not as a betrayed wife, but a partner discussing an important deal. Chloe looked at me, her gaze shifting from surprise to respect. You're amazing. I was worried you'd lock yourself in crying. I smiled coldly. Crying, Chloe? Tears can't get back $60,000. Good. Chloe tapped her pen on the desk. Then let's work. With this $60,000 proof, we can file for divorce and for fraudulent dissipation of marital assets. In court, you'll get the majority. He won't lift his head. She slid a folder. Sign here. Just as I reached for the pen, Chloe said, Wait. I looked up. She was frowning at her computer screen. My paralegal double-checked the brownstones information for your sale, Eva. Chloe's voice turned deadly serious. Come and see this. A premonition, worse than hearing Mrs. Rosa Gomez's name. I went to her screen. The title deed. Look at this, she pointed to small print. Your house has a lien on it. It's mortgaged. Mortgaged. I repeated mechanically. That doesn't make sense. I didn't sign anything. This house was my parents' money. It's mortgaged, Chloe said, her voice a wedge. And not for a small amount. He took out a $500,000 loan against it. If $60,000 was a slap, $500,000 was a bullet to the head. No, it's not possible. I screamed, my composure crumbling. Chloe, a $500,000 loan requires my signature. I'm a co-owner. Never. Calm down. Chloe grabbed my shoulders, shaking me hard. Listen to me. Look at the date. I squinted. 6 months ago. Exactly 6 months ago. Chloe's voice burned with rage. Did you sign any strange documents 6 months ago? 6 months ago. My head spun. Yes. Ethan had said the company needed capital for a project. A golden opportunity. He'd brought a thick folder, told me to sign quickly. Internal documents, he'd said. His boss was waiting. Oh my God. I crumpled. I signed. He said it was an internal guarantee. Pointed where to sign. I didn't read, Chloe. Oh, Chloe. Chloe slammed her fist on the desk. That bastard tricked you. He tricked you into signing a power of attorney or a mortgage consent. He took $500,000 from your parents' house. I didn't hear anything else. $60,000 for his mistress. This $500,000. Where did it go? Top secret survey trip to the Hamptons project. Suddenly I understood. He didn't go to investigate. He went to finalize that $500,000. He was planning to escape. He was going to leave with $500,000 and his young mistress, leaving me with a foreclosed house and gigantic debt. The $4,000 meal at Aria was the celebration of his successful deal. Eva. Chloe's voice snapped me back. Her face was pale, eyes blazing. Listen carefully. This is no longer just divorce. No longer a civil case. She gripped my hand. This is a crime. Your husband is a criminal. Fraud. Embezzlement. I looked at Chloe. The tears had dried. The pain was gone. Only a cold emptiness. Yes, I said, eerily calm. What do I do with a criminal, Chloe? What's the procedure for filing a criminal complaint? Chloe's voice echoed. Criminal. Fraud. Penal. Each word a hammer blow. $500,000. Such a vast sum it felt abstract. It was an abyss. I must have staggered. Chloe caught me, sat me down. Eva, are you listening? You have to calm down. Now is not the time to faint. Calm down. 6 months ago I remembered. Vividly. Ethan excited. Golden opportunity. Internal investment. Change our lives. Never worry again. A thick folder of jargon. He pointed to an X. Sign quickly. My boss is waiting. Internal guarantee. We have to trust each other, right? Don't you trust me? I trusted him. For 10 years. I signed without reading. Signed the power of attorney. The mortgage consent. I signed the death sentence of my marriage and my assets. How stupid I was. The emotional betrayal hurt, but this financial deception, this cold calculation using my absolute trust, filled me with utter disgust. He wasn't just a bad husband. He was a professional con man. Chloe, I said, my voice dry. $60,000 for his mistress. And this $500,000. What was he going to do with it? Chloe's eyes were filled with pity, but also resolve. You still don't know? He scammed you. Used your parents' house, your assets to borrow $500,000. He was preparing his escape, leaving you with gigantic debt and a house that would be foreclosed. My heart stopped. Selling the house. It wasn't revenge. It wasn't just stopping the bleeding. It was a necessity. I needed the cash from the buyer. I needed that money to immediately pay off the illegal $500,000 debt. If I didn't, the bank would foreclose. And I, the co-owner who signed under deception, would be held responsible. I would lose everything. The house, my parents' money, and be in debt for life. Ethan Cole didn't just want to leave me. He wanted to destroy me. Bury me alive in debt and shame. Ava. Chloe gripped my hand. This fight has changed. It's no longer a simple civil divorce. It's a criminal case. You're not just a wife demanding justice. You're a victim fighting for her freedom. I left Chloe's office as if my feet weren't touching the ground. I don't know how I drove home. Everything was a thick fog. The world buzzed, but I was in a soundproof glass cage. I slumped onto the steps outside the orchid garden. The $25,000 garden. Now the only thing that could save me. Everything clicked cruelly clear. 6 months ago, he tricked me into signing the mortgage. The bank disbursed $500,000. He had the money, enough for a new life. He started spending more blatantly. The business trip wasn't sudden. It was planned. The 15-day top-secret geological survey was a lie. A carefully crafted lie to give him time to transfer the money and disappear. His mistress? Not the reason. Just the prize he gave himself after a successful fraudulent deal. The $4,000 meal at Aria. My dry laugh echoed. Not client entertainment. Not a mistake. It was a celebration. Ethan Cole was celebrating with my money, using our house as collateral, the fact that he just swindled me out of $500,000. Celebrating his impending escape. Celebrating that I was the fool who didn't know I'd soon be mired in gigantic debt. His contempt, his cruelty went beyond infidelity. This was calculated evil. He didn't just want my money. He wanted to destroy me. To bury me alive in debt and shame. I picked up my phone. My hands were no longer trembling. They were cold and steady. I called Mark, the real estate agent. Mr. Mark. My voice was calm. It's Ava. Cancel all other house viewings. I'm selling it to the American client. I accept all their conditions. I want to sign the papers this weekend. I need the cash. The sooner the better. Mark, surprised, quickly grasped the urgency. Fantastic, ma'am. I'll call them right away. I hung up. No other choice. Selling this house wasn't about divorce assets. It was to save my life. He wanted to bury me, but he didn't know I was the seed. Reed Landscapes would rise from these ashes. I sat in the brownstone, an asset waiting to be sold. I turned off my phone. No more threats, no more false pleas from Ethan. No more calculated crying from his mother. I needed silence. In that silence, I wondered what the man who swindled $500,000 and was enjoying his mistress was doing. Later, when everything came to light, I knew even my darkest imagination paled against the cruel reality. While I struggled with debt, Ethan and Charlotte were on a 5-star yacht somewhere distant, living the extravagant life he once despised. Drinking expensive wine, eating food I never dreamed of, spending my money like water. But all parties end. My phone call, the frozen accounts, the canceled black card. Like a bucket of ice water on their imperial dream. The black card, symbol of his power, was declined for the yacht rental. He was stunned. His second, third cards all frozen. His rage, the one that sparked 66 missed calls, was real. He couldn't believe his docile wife dared to cut off his lifeline. And the fight began. Not my fight. There. I could imagine Charlotte, accustomed to luxury, when her gold mine ran dry. Mr. Cole turned into a sharp scream. You promised. The world would be mine. Now the cards don't work? Who's paying the hotel? You're a con man. And Ethan, the patriarch, humiliated. Financially betrayed by his wife, bitten by his mistress. I pictured him screaming. Shut up. If you hadn't demanded that $2,000 bag, we'd have money for a plane ticket. You're a parasite. Their love, built on my betrayal and my money, was more fragile than seafoam. When the money vanished, only hatred remained. The $4,000 party at Aria was their high point. This was the hell they created. I lived in silence for 2 days. Organized my Reed Landscapes documents. Old blueprints. Incomplete contracts. Wiped dust from trophies, thank you plaques. I realized I'd lost not just money but myself. Ethan was silent. Eleanor was silent. I assumed they were preparing a bigger storm. On the third day, preparing house sale documents, my phone chimed. Unknown number. Charlotte. Again. Last time a bikini. Now what? Had they solved things? I almost blocked her. But something held me. I opened it. Not a photo. Not a provocation. 3 words. Mrs. Reed, save me. Stunned. Save me, what game was this? I didn't answer. I didn't believe her tears. A person who gladly accepted $60,000 from another woman's husband was capable of anything. A cunning trap, I thought. I wanted to see her next act. When I stayed silent, she panicked. A flood of messages. Ma'am, I was wrong. I don't dare ask for your forgiveness. Just save me. That man deceived me. Mr. Cole is not human. He's a demon. I laughed. Demon. Just days ago he was her gold mine. He ran out of money. You blocked the cards and he doesn't have a penny. He hit me. He locked me in the hotel. He said if I didn't get him money, he would sell me. Ma'am, I'm so scared. I escaped. I'm at the airport. No cent borrowed Wi-Fi. I was wrong. Foolish. I just want to go home. A photo appeared. Not a pretty selfie. One cheek swollen, bruised. A long scratch near her mouth. Pity. No. Just fatigue. The price of greed. She gleefully enjoyed my money. Now she paid for the party. But I was patient. This rat wasn't crying to vent. She had bait. And it came. Ma'am, I know you're going to sue him. I have what you need. Proof that will make that man unable to lift his head. I can help you. Just forgive me for the money we received. My mother's sin. I will pay it back. I promise. Proof. The coup de grace. I smirked. This rat was clever. Took insurance when she fled. I typed. My first response. Cold as ice. What airport are you at now? Instant reply. Still stuck abroad. Just escaped to the airport. I don't care where you are, I wrote. I also don't care if he hit you. That's your problem and his. But I'm interested in the proof you mentioned. Yes. Yes, it's true. Double contracts, tax evasion documents. He said it was his biggest secret. How he got rich. If it got out, he'd go to jail. Asterisk tax evasion. Double contracts. Asterisk a strange emotion stirred. His empire, the facade of a sophisticated director, built on crime. Monday at 3 p.m., I sent. My lawyer's office address, 30 Park Place. Get back to the States however you can. Bring the proof. We'll talk. I hung up, not waiting for her response. He would cling to this as his last lifeline. He'd think I was still stupid, still loved him, wanted to talk privately. He'd come with crocodile tears, hoping to reverse everything. He didn't know he was walking into his final judgment. Chloe's office at 9 a.m. that Monday was tense. I wore a black suit, not white. The color of the end. I sat with Chloe. Across from us, Mr. Herrera, a lawyer from J Capital, serious eyes. Ethan arrived 5 minutes late. He opened the door, but seeing me, seeing Chloe, seeing Mr. Herrera, he froze. He looked wretched. Unkempt beard, greasy hair. Wrinkled suit reeking of fear and sweat. Haggard, bloodshot eyes. Ava, honey. He tried to sound pitiful, tried to approach me. Sit down. Chloe growled, pointing to the empty chair. Ethan stopped. Looked at me. Looked at Mr. Herrera. Realization dawned. He awkwardly sat. Mr. Ethan Cole, Chloe began, her voice emotionless. Today we are not here to talk about 10 years of affection. She pressed a remote. The large screen on the wall lit up. Let's get straight to the point. Image 1, the 30-second video at Arya. The kiss. Ethan closed his eyes, gritting his teeth. This is. I next. Chloe pressed the remote. The bikini photo on the yacht. Silence. Chloe cut him off. Just look at the screen. Next slide. The bank statement. $2,500 circled in red. A table calculating the $60,000 total. Ethan turned pale. Next, the Brownstones mortgage contract. $500,000 enlarged. Followed by the signature analysis. Signature of Mrs. Ava Reed concluded to have been obtained under fraudulent pretenses. That's nonsense. Ethan screamed. You signed it yourself. Still trying to lie? I opened my mouth, the first word since he entered. You said it was an internal guarantee document, right? Ethan was speechless. He looked at me as if I were a ghost. Finally, Chloe pressed the last slide. The folder of double contracts Charlotte brought. This time Ethan didn't scream. He just panted, sweat pouring. He knew there was no denying it. Then Mr. Herrera, the J Capital lawyer, spoke. Law firm. Mr. Cole, I represent J Capital. We have obtained all these documents. We are officially reporting you for commercial fraud and embezzlement. You have been deceiving us for 5 years. No, Mr. Herrera. I was deceived. That girl, Charlotte, she seduced me. Ethan turned to me. Tried to crawl out of the chair, to kneel. Ava, save me. Tell him to stop. 10 years. It's been 10 years. I looked at him. The man I once loved, groveling at my feet. My heart didn't stir. No pity. No satisfaction. Only emptiness. Mr. Cole, I said. You don't need to beg me or Mr. Herrera. The person you need to talk to is not us. Ethan looked panicked. Just then the conference room door opened. 2 uniformed police officers. 2 detectives in plain clothes. Mr. Ethan Cole, one detective said, showing his badge. NYPD Financial Crimes Task Force. We received a report of your tax evasion and fraud. Please accompany us to the station for questioning. Ethan was petrified. He looked at the officers, then at me. The look was no longer pleading. It was pure hatred. But it was too late. 2 cold silver handcuffs snapped around his wrists. He was dragged past me. My 10 years of marriage. My 10 years of youth. My Reed landscapes given up. Officially concluded with the dry click of handcuffs. 6 months later, Chloe told me the news. The trial concluded. Ethan Cole, sentenced to 18 years for fraud and embezzlement of $500,000 from me. Fraud against J Capital and tax evasion. 18 years for a lifetime of greed and falsehood. His mother, Eleanor, couldn't overcome the shock. Stroke. Paralyzed on one side, bedridden, crying and cursing. No one cared anymore. Charlotte, due to her confession and returning the entire $60,000, Received a suspended sentence as an accessory. She disappeared, returned to her hometown. I no longer felt hatred or satisfaction. Just that everything had returned to its course. You reap what you sow. I stood in my new office. Small penthouse. Full of sunlight. Walls covered with design blueprints. Forgotten for 10 years, but my skills hadn't disappeared. Like a seed buried under the rubble of a marriage. The storm had passed. It began to sprout. Chloe came in with 2 coffees. What's wrong? You just got the landscape design contract for the entire new riverfront development. Why the long face? I smiled, taking the coffee. I was thinking about what kind of trees to use for the central lake. Chloe laughed. Seeing you now, this is the Ava Reed I knew. I looked out the window. The sky was so blue today. People were busy. My heart surprisingly was at peace. I sold my $25,000 orchid garden, but I got back my own entire sky. I didn't need to prove anything. Just live well. Do my job well. For 10 years I learned to tend a garden. Now I'd use that skill to tend my life and make other people's lives more beautiful. I took a deep breath. The smell of coffee, paper. The smell of freedom. My real life had just begun.